Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a new TEW2020 video. You join us today for a show at the conclusion of February, which is our all-women's pay-per-view. Our presence is elite, and crazily, it's going to be our third show of this. I didn't realise that, so that's quite a cool thing. Gives us a chance to compare from the previous shows we've done before. So before we run down the match card and then of course head into the show itself, let's look historically at all elite wrestling's Our Presence is Elite. We started this in 2023 and we had a main event of Mercedes Varnardo winning the AEW Women's Championship against Thunder Rosa in the main event. We also had Becky Quin take on Kris Statlander, and you can see there Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on Shirari and Kairi Hojo to win the AEW Women's World Tag Titles. There is a massive amount of ironicness of that, as that's our main event. Well, not our main event, but one of our main matches. So let's forward to last year's show that got an 86. Obviously the boosts were in effect then, and it was Demi Bennett winning the Women's World Championship as she defeated Io Shirai, and we also had a confrontation between BB Ford and Demi Bennett. And you can see there Cassie Lee defending the TBS Championship against Miya Yam. So what have we got in store for this year? Here's your card. The opening contest is going to see a 8-woman tag. We're going to see the combination of AZM, Yuka Sakazaki, and the Sisters of Sin, Saraya Knight and Elena Black, take on the team of Thunder Rosa, Saru, Hikaru Shida and Aqua. So looking forward to giving them an opportunity. Aqua's just come up from developmental. She feels like she's too big for it. But I feel like it's a good combination of styles and wrestlers, and I'm looking forward to that one. I'm going to see Candice LeRae take on Red Velvet. That'll be quite an interesting contest there. Both of them are looking to go progress in a division, but we'll see more of that as the show unfolds. We're going to have representation from abroad as Utami Hayashita takes on Toni Storm. We also have the recently turned heel Bianca Ford, now Bianca Ford, not BB Ford, take on Arisa Nakajima. That should be spectacular. We have the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships on the line in a fatal 4-way tag match. It's going to be the team of Kana and Takumi Iroha take on Kris Statlander and Jamie Hayter, Tai Conti and Margarita Moya, and the Poisonous Challenge team of Avery Taylor and Priscilla Kelly. Mayu Yamashita is going to challenge Mercedes Varnardo for the TBS Championship. That should be really good. And getting one more opportunity is Deonna Purrazzo as she challenges for Serena Deeb's Shine Championship. We've got some dream matches as well. We are going to see Mayu Iwatani challenge Charlotte, so that should be spectacular. We've got the 30-minute Iron Women matchup between Kairi Hojo and Io Shirai as those two go to war. A feud we've had brewing quite a lot on Dynamite has been Anna Jay against the Inspiration, both of them basically bullying Anna Jay and then taking out on Athena and Ruby Soho. 3-on-2 advantage there, but the Inspiration have a friend who's also Australian in the form of Demi Bennett. And then our main event is going to be for the AEW Women's World Championship. The champion, the Storm, is coming as Jade Cargill as she defends against the number one contender Becky Quin. They've been back and forth between Jade and Becky. Jade has also had a Stokely in her corner, Stokely half away. Also Mercedes has been getting involved. Will Becky Quin finally capture the AEW Women's Championship, or is this still going to be Jade Cargill's era? I'll go and book the angles and I'll see you in the show. So here we are folks, we are now in the presence of greatness. We have what should be a top show. So you see here we were expected to get 100,000 because it was free seats. I always try and get a great attendance here. Obviously because a lot of our most over stars, our male athletes, aren't on the show, it'll say that affects the attendance. But hey, this is for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to give a showcase of the fantastic women talent we have here at All Elite Wrestling. So still, to get 83,517 fans in the Neyland Stadium is a massive achievement. So started off with a decent matchup then, the 8-woman tag, and the team of AZM, Yuka Sakazaki and the Sisters of Sin defeated Thunder Rosa, Ikuei and Hikaru Shida and Saru in 12-22 when Elena Black pinned Ikuei with the double underhook DDT. So good matchup there. I felt like it was best to give her the win to try and get her the level of overness that Saraya's got, her tag team partner. Yuka's not the most over, but because of the way we have our product suited, it really benefits her with the 71 there. And you can see some pretty competent performances on the heel side as well. Overall, a 72 and a very good opener to the show. Moving along, we had a decent matchup. Red Velvet defeated Candice LeRae in 802 with a chef's kiss. Not too much to talk about in this one, a 67. I actually wanted Candice to go over, but because we dropped her out so much when she was a heel, the rebuild as a babyface is going to take a while, as Red Velvet did not wish to put her over. So we'll work on that. But 67, still pretty good. And backstage while this was happening, we had their respective tag team partners, because obviously Red Velvet's been kind of tagging in mixed tag action with Ethan Page, sometimes with absolute Ricky Starks, after the team with Cody Rhodes didn't quite work chemistry wise, and of course Johnny Gargano being Candice's husband. These two have a brawl, and it's a 72, alluding that we're going to have some depth to our mixed tag team division. We then had a decent matchup as Toni Storm defeated Utami Hayashita in 12-14 with a strong 0. Overness wise, again, Tony's well over here, and I felt like it's a good matchup, but we have to let the AEW talent pick up the win, and she does so. A pretty good 70 rated matchup. So again, women's division is absolutely solid so far. Wow, that's surpassed the expectations. Now, but they had great wrestling and good heat. Bianca Ford defeated Arisa Nakajima in 12-22 with the kiss of death. I did expect these two to do well together because of Arisa's fantastic psychology stat. Didn't expect an 85. So props to both ladies, that's a fantastic showing. Nakajima will need to utilise her well we can. She's 37, obviously women retire a bit younger than men in wrestling. So I expect that to be the case here, but that's a fantastic showing. An 85 overall. Kudos ladies, because that is stellar. Fantastic. We then moved on to the Fatal 4-Way match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and you'll see a very interesting in-ring performance with the reason of why Kana and Takumi Iroha were paired together. So a decent matchup as Kana and Takumi Iroha defeated Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter, Margarita Moya and Tai Conti and Poisonous Chalice in 11:36, when Iroha submitted Moya with a triangle choke, meaning that Iroha and Kana are your new AEW Women's World Champions. So I've been pushing Takumi Iroha because her psychology was good and a lot of her stats were good. I don't watch a lot of Japanese wrestling at all, so I was not familiar with her work, but throwaway tag match, her and Kana together, excellent chemistry. I'm like, oh, are we onto something here? And as you can see there, they've brought out an 89 and a 90 rated performance. I'm really intrigued to see how they do in a single tag match with just two teams, and that allows me to go different directions with Chris and Jamie going forward. But everyone else is a solid tandem. It's not really a tag team between Tai Conti and Moya, that's more of a kind of alliance, bodyguard with Evil Heel and Tai Conti, but absolutely delighted with that one, and feel justified in putting the women's tag titles on Kana and Iroha. And they celebrate. Kana's getting a little bit stale with her gimmick, and 74, that had been judged on overness, so still pretty happy with that. New tag champs. TBS Championship on the line. It was about that great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Mercedes Varnardo defeats Mayu Yamashita in 13:32 by submission with a bank statement. 5th defence of the TBS belt. Mercedes is getting a little bit stale. I just felt like it was still too early to take the belt off her. But again, they managed to get through it without a psychology penalty. And an 80 rated matchup is pretty fair. So happy with that one. Mercedes retains. Next up, we had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Serena Deeb defeated Deonna Purrazzo in 18:50 by submission, giving her second defence of the Shine title. So a 77 for this one. Serena's getting a little bit stale. You can see there, two good performances though, and the reason it went to 18 minutes is because we gave this a technical masterclass match aim. So Serena's going to add a bit more prestige to the Shine Championship. However, after the matchup, they shake hands and Deonna leaves with her. she's turning heel. These two are going to form a tag team. So imagine that at one point. Kana and Takuma Aroha versus Serena Deeb and Deonna Purrazzo. Holy cow, that could be good. That could be really good. So effectively she's going to be like an honorary member of the Danielson Fight Dojo. She might not be a fighter, but she's a technical wrestler. Next up, another match that made expectations. Good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd as Charlotte defeated Mayu Iwatani in 12:27 with the figure 4. 81 for this one. Charlotte obviously gets over in terms of popularity. Mayu gets over in skill. Like, she's so good. Unfortunately, she doesn't crave the overness in the States here, so that's why I would put Charlotte over. But I feel like if we can keep the loans up with Mayu, we'll certainly bring her on and on going forward. I'm really intrigued to see how it goes with the women's division and the women around the globe that are loyal to like Stardom, etc. I'm either just going to keep loaning them in and play it the way the game should be played, or I might just, when their contracts expire, edit out the loyalty and just bring them in, because I don't feel the loyalty thing really makes sense a lot of the time, because, you know, Nakamura, that's the best case I can give. That's a loyal guy, and he went, I'll take the money. But we'll see, because then you're kind of taking away from any challenge of the game and just completely fantasy booking, which, to be honest, the save is more catered towards just fantasy booking, as you've probably saw with the ex-WWE alumni. So, well, you could see that for real life AEW, but I think we'll probably go that way, but that could be months away, so nothing to worry about at the moment. But a great wrestling match with good heat, and this big feud between these two. So a draw after 30 minutes, 3-3, and no winner between Kairi, Hojo and Shirari. Kairi does have the previous win at a previous pay-per-view, but at 30 minutes all, these two cannot be decided. 79, 84 for Hojo, 82 for Shirari, and what negatives did we get, if any? Inconsistency, a poor gimmick. However, Chris Jericho has come out, one of the authority figures, the matchmaker of one of the shows, in this case Dynamite, and he's confirmed that we will see at the end of March at Revolution a mega stipulation match between Kairi, Hojo and Shirari. I'm thinking at the moment it's probably going to be cage match, but I've said mega stipulation just in case I change my mind. So in terms of like YouTube videos, that'll be in like 2 weeks time, because next week it will be our episode. We're in Mexico for the Free For All series, so we'll have that one. But Hojo versus Shirari will take place in the March at Revolution. How would you feel as a wrestling fan when if that got announced? Would you be pissed? Would you be happy? I'm intrigued. Next up, we had the co-main event, which was the 6-woman tag. Obviously we know about the bullying that's been done by the Inspiration. So of course the babyfaces picked up the victory. And it was a decent matchup that saw Athena, Anna Jay and Ruby Soho defeat Demi Bennett and the Inspiration in 12:17 when Anna Jay pinned Demi Bennett with the scissors kick. So she beats the Muscle, the biggest threat of that team, and hopefully we can pick her up and get her rolling. She's not the greatest technically, but the psychology stat well makes up for it. And of course she's still youthful enough to develop those stats, but putting her in there with two veterans like Athena and Ruby Soho should help her. And it all made sense, and she might get a pop boost by pinning Demi. And she gets a nice wee moment with her new manager, called up from developmental because he felt he was too big for it, Brody Lee Jr. So I've just put him as Anna's manager till we work something out down the line. We have a promo from Bailey Rose. She says, "Not in the show tonight. Didn't want to appear. Didn't want to give you fans the satisfaction of seeing me in action. But it's got a bit of a joke around here. I haven't won any championships since I came to AEW, and I think that's time for a change." So it's just her being a wee bit spiteful, vengeful, and looking forward to future things from Bailey Rose. Truthfully, I didn't have anything for her. I was looking at, can we do anything with her? Too early to turn her, so we'll work this going forward. And the main event, and it did suffer by the psychology. That's frustrating, because look at Becky's performance. Holy shit, that is good. Exceptional matchup. Jade Cargill defeats Becky Quin in 13:50 with a Jade after Stokely Hathaway interfered, giving Jade the 8th defence of the Women's World title. these two have good chemistry together. This gave a Becky with a 97 performance, Jade with a 79, but the lack of psychology. I think it's like a 78 plays a 77 in psychology, so just not enough to carry it. But 83 was good. Stokely doing some good work at ringside, and yeah, it's not Becky. Someone will take the belt from Jade eventually, and I do know who I think that's going to be, but Becky is not that person. After the matchup, Becky is getting beaten down by, she's already, you know, been pinned. She's reeling a little bit, but Bianca Ford comes down and she beats the hell out of Becky, and I mean, she beats her bad. She stands tall above her. Basically, we're going to be building towards another match at Revolution that you'll see, which will be the team of Becky Quin and Tyler Black defending the AEW Mixed Tag Team Championships against Bianca and Tess Ford. But we don't finish the show there on the beatdown, because on the ramp we have our two champions standing tall alongside their manager, and that is of course Jade Cargill, the women's champion, the TBS champion Mercedes Varnardo, and their manager Stokely Hathaway. So all the belts there, 85 rated segment. Mercedes came across well. Maybe get the show into the high 80s hopefully with the boosts, let's find out. 89. Which, considering I never really got the angle I was hoping for, although to be fair that played it quite close. I was hoping that would boost it up a wee bit, but an 83 main event, the 85 helps as well. For an all-women's show that really, let's be honest, was only hampered by psychology, I think that's absolutely stellar and a fantastic showing of our women's division. And that's where a lot of them that really should be getting bigger parts only having minor parts in the show. So let me know your feedback on that one. If you had to do a women's show of your own for your own company, let me know what you would book. We're just going to jump into the main screen. We'll obviously get the note confirming that we did not have major names in the show, but that's just because there's obviously going to be more men and women on the show, or on the roster, and we've only really had, say, Jade and Becky to proper superstardom level at the moment. So Kenta's contract was up. Here's a wee short-term deal. I don't even think we use them. So look, match history. No. He left New Japan, so we gave him like a home contract, but I just decided to get the numbers down, getting rid of Little K. Show was awesome, fantastic reviews, that's good to see. New Japan has Shingo as the new Never Openweight champion. Roppongi 3K have won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles. That's for the 8th time. Sho also got injured. Lee Moriarty wins the BLP Heavyweight Championship. TJP says he's carrying New Japan of America. Okay. And Lacey Lane is back from injury. As for us, we have quite a good few things here that we need to look at. So, Lisa Long's contract, I'll look into that one. April Hart's a manager, so we try and bring her up. Dish Network's fine, we're just going to scrap pay-per-view and just go strictly with the AEW network. Avery, Aya Akimoto I'll deal with. Loan deals obviously expiring for Utami and Mayu, as I said they would. Kenta, we obviously know about. The lack of big names, which I said about. And the buy rate being 0. But 27.08 for our presence is all elite. Steve Austin says that Takuma Iroha is charismatic, just to give an idea of how she looks. 81 psychology, the experience is high, brawling, puresque, technical, all where I like to see it. 32-year-old, perfect age. Pretty much over pretty well in the US. I think she might be over more in Japan. Yep, 80 in Japan. The issue is obviously she's a booker of Marvelous, but yeah, we'll just hopefully keep her on that handshake deal as long as we can. And BJ Whitmore says that Mayu Yamashita is going to be a star. So the plan was to put her with Rina. Rina decided to, you know, go and take hundreds of painkillers. This is one you just need to keep building up and see what we can get with her. Frustratingly, JPW Trueborn, and she's obviously going to be way over in Japan as well, but 29 stats are good. Psychology could use a bit of a boost, but in terms of skill set, you can see everything seems to be gearing up steadily, which given their age there's still plenty of time in psychology. Well, a free psychology gain in the space of a year. But those last few points are always the trickiest, I feel. So I'll go and deal with all that one. But thank you very much for watching, it's much appreciated. And just to remind you, the next show is a free-for-all series. I'll be looking at, I've got a week to put that card together, although some of it has already been booked between Forbidden Door and that one. But just going to confirm, because there were no videos before then, what your main event for the AEW free-for-all series Mexico is going to be, and the AEW World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as Maxwell Jacob Friedman defends against Andrade El Idolo. But until next time, so is Maxwell, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.